All right, well, welcome everybody. My name's Maggie Major, and right now we also have Regina here. We'll do a little introductions in a little bit. And this is, I will tell you, our first Zoom orientation for nurse aid. So we're going to see how this goes, and we'll get some feedback and that from you guys. This may be the way of the future instead of bringing everybody in on an extra day of doing our orientation. You know, looks like most of you are getting connected pretty well, and it gives me a chance. I can see all your faces. Brianna, it looks like you must be at work. She's got her mask on and she's at work, so that it works out, like I said, people can connect in a fashion depending on no matter where you're at, and one less day you have to come into the building. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll get formally going here from beginning. There we go. So to everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Nurse Aid Training Program. We are excited to have you here and to be embarking on a great adventure in more ways than one. So, you know, you've picked a wonderful field to get into that will allow you to grow and expand and for the rest of your lives, and it's never going to stop changing. And we're going through a lot of changes right now, and you're going to learn about some of those today. A couple things, just a little housekeeping slide here. We'll be using both the chat function and the audio functions today. So right now I have all of you on mute. So if you want to speak, what you're going to have to do is unmute your microphone, click on the microphone, you'll see the red line will go away, and you'll be able to speak. And then when you're done speaking, we're going to have you go put it back on mute. That does a couple things. It just helps keep feedback down, and it also helps if the dog barks or the kids say something or some noise happens in your background. For me, notoriously, it's garbage trucks. You know, those kind of things. It kind of keeps that stuff from interfering with the meeting, but you do have the ability to speak. If you have a question, you can also feel free to type it into the chat box. If you want to do it that way, I will keep an eye on that, and we will try to interject those and answer those throughout. But as I said, you can also feel free to unmute and ask a question if you would rather do it that way. So that being said, official introductions, so you know how everything works. As I said, my name's Maggie Major. I am the Nurse Aid Program Coordinator for Reading Area Community College. So I'm the person kind of on the back end that's making sure, you know, following up on your paperwork, on your files, on your schedules, those kind of things in the background, kind of supervising and overseeing the general operations of the Nurse Aid Program. I am also an instructor, and so I also teach courses at RACC. So I teach 3 courses in medical terminology there too. So I wear a couple of hats, but I'll tell you, I started out as a nurse aide, and it was a wonderful experience for me, and that it allowed me to actually, my goal was to become a registered nurse, and I did become that, but I only ever had to pay for 1 semester of college because I worked as a nurse aide, and after I was there long enough, the hospital actually paid for me to get my degree. So it's a great stepping stone, and it's a great way, and it has very well served me. So next I'm going to let Regina introduce herself. Go ahead, Regina.
Hi, everybody. some of you have met before, and now we're meeting again. I'm Regina Paranozzi. I'm the healthcare coordinator, which just means we have about 11, 12 programs, healthcare programs that we run at RACC, and I kind of oversee all of them. I'm very, very happy to be doing this today and handing some of this responsibility to Maggie. She was very modest. She's very, very experienced. We're really lucky to have her when we hired her a few months before COVID hit. So you guys are getting the best of the best as a coordinator. And I'm really excited where our program is going, the work that we've done, even with the COVID. We've really put a lot of work together with Maggie's leadership being newly in the position. So again, I welcome you all. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm congratulating you now, because once you start, by the time I see you, you're going to be done. What is my role in the Nurses Aid program? I'm the one that you will come to if you feel the teacher is not listening to me. Maggie is not listening to me, which I think is not going to happen. Then you come to me. If you have any personal problem going on, if you don't feel comfortable sharing it with the teachers because they see you every day that we can help you, you come to me. And the other stuff that I will talk about, that we need to make plans, we need to make sure that you're where you need to be, so there will be no absenteeism, there will be no tardiness, because Nurses Aid is one program. There's really not much room for that. But we'll talk a little bit about that as we review the rest of the program today. But please be open to reach out to me by email or phone call. I'm very available, and that I will speak to Maggie too and the rest of the team. All right, so you are welcome, and we'll talk more later in the program. Thank you, Maggie.
You bet. Also on our list here are two people we're going to talk about. They're going to try to jump in. I know one is having she's having some internet issues. I understand. I am, there's been a lot of storms and things like that. So I know there's some internet issues going on across Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. But the third on the list is Judy Staunecker, and Judy is going to be your instructor, your primary instructor in the classroom. And so we're hoping she's able to get on here via her phone here shortly. And if not, you will meet her on your first day of class. She has been with the program many years, and she has tons and tons of experience. Mm-hmm. She's a great, approachable instructor. Mm-hmm. And I think you're going to learn a lot from her, and you're really going to enjoy having her as an instructor. And the fourth person on our list is Kim. And Kim, you all had contact with either via phone or via email, or probably both. And Kim is our administrative assistant, who, without her, this program would not be running. Regina's chuckling in the background.
Yeah. Without her, my life would be miserable. So I thank Kim. She makes our life easier. She knows the stuff, and it's good to have a great team like her. Yep.
Yeah. So even after you graduate, if there's something that you need that was related to the program, mm-hmm. contact her. She has all the records, all the files, everything. So, she's very organized. She is very detail oriented. And there she is, as we're talking about.
I just got her in.
So she's just joined us. Kim, we were just singing your praises, if she heard us. So welcome to the conversation. See if we have her. There she is.
Her. Yeah, I admitted her.
All right, Kim, we were just introducing you. Do you want to just quick say hi to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. You missed your great introduction.
Oh, well, sorry about that. I had something I had to take care of.
It's okay.
I recorded it.
It's okay.
All right. So next, I'm going to go through a couple of the details about that are going to give you a little familiarity with your first day of class and subsequent days. In your packet and then subsequently emailed to you, you would have received some building entrance procedures. The most updated one looks like it says green phase building entrance procedures. And this is what you're going to do every time you come in to the building. So the class takes place in White's Hall, and class starts, meaning instruction begins at 8 o'clock. So you need to get there around about 7:45 so that you can go through the process to get into the building so that you're in your seat and ready to go for 8 o'clock. This program works on calculating out hours and literally minutes. So we need to start instruction at 8 o'clock each morning. So you're going to arrive in front of White's Hall, and you're going to see there's signs there that say this is the entrance at 7:45. You can park in the parking garage, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, and come on over. You want to be wearing your mask, so make sure you wear a mask when you come up and you approach the building. And you'll meet Judy, your instructor, at the door. Now she's going to have one of these COVID screening forms, and I gave you a preview of it. We send it again along with your packet. And the COVID screening form, what you're going to do is you're going to have to that'll be completed each day before you can go into the building. So you're going to get very familiar with this form. Good idea to have it and look at it before you even come, because if you have any of the symptoms that are listed on this form or don't meet any of the criteria that's on this form before you get there, you'll want to call and let us know, say, hey, I've got this going on, I've got a headache, I've got a fever, those kind of things before you even come, and we can stop the process there. Otherwise, what you'll do is you're going to come in and you're going to fill out the form, and Judy's going to look over it for you. Now, I do want you to note there are a couple of videos that we're asking that people watch before, and that's listed on that form. There's a video about face coverings, there's a video about hand washing, and there's a video about social distancing. So it's a good idea, if you haven't done that, you look over those before you even come to the building for the first day. You'll fill out your form. When your form's complete, Judy will look at it and take it from you and go, okay, then the next step will be is you will go and she will say you can enter into the building. So when you go into the building, there will be a person from our security team there. And they're going to go and check your temperature to make sure your temperature is not greater than 100.5 degrees. So if you pass the temperature check, then you will sign in and be able to proceed upstairs. Now that's the normal routine. No more than 2 people in an elevator at a time, and you'll go up to room 418. Now the first day of class, I have a couple of things on here. If you have not gotten your ID yet, some of you did because you got them back in March before we closed down, which is fine. If you did not get your ID yet, when you come in and after you do your temperature check, security will go and look at your registration receipt. So you're going to want to bring that with you. They will look at that, and then they will be able to give you your ID. And if you need a parking permit, they will give you a parking permit at that time. So that can all get taken care of right there in the same place on the first day. And then you will go and you will proceed upstairs to the room 418, and your instructor by 5 of 8, so 7:55, she's going to head upstairs so that she can get class started at 8 o'clock. So that's why it's important that you want to be there by 7:45. If you, for some reason on any day, arrive and she is not there, security is going to have to call over to us. One of us is going to have to come over to the building, do your screening, and then get you into class. So that's why it's important that you're there at 7:45. Any questions from anybody right now at this point?
No. Wait,
Awesome.
yes, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So I work at a nursing home and I get COVID testing. Do you guys need the results of my COVID testing?
Only if they're positive.
Okay, well, then never mind.
Yep, if it's positive, yeah, we need that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
But they
we
were
don't
all
wanna see
negative,
that,
so
right? Yeah.
gotcha.
I just, from what Maggie said, I just wanted to stress the need not to be late. Your minutes are gonna start counting at 8. Then you have to make it up. Just be mindful that this is not a class you wanna be 10, 15, 20 minutes late every day. It's not gonna work out. You're gonna be in trouble. Just be very conscious of that. Wake up early, do whatever you have to do a little early, just get out on time, okay?
I had a question. I don't exactly remember where the hall is and how to get there.
The building where you'll be in?
Yeah, I didn't drive last time, so that's why I was like,
I can send maps out to everyone.
Okay. I was just gonna say I could give the direction to the address of the building. So if you put it on GPS, it'll bring you right there. But if you're sending map, Kim, that's fine.
I'll send a map with the address.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Okay, so again, my part, I feel like I'm the germ queen because I think that's what I'm doing here in the beginning. But so some of the things just to kind of make you feel, try and make you feel more comfortable. I want you to understand what we've been doing so that we are protecting you and protecting our residents and all the staff at RACC. Is first off, infection control things we are doing are masks. So you will be wearing a mask the entire time that you are in class. So from the time you arrive at the building door until you are back outside, you will be wearing a mask. You may bring your own, and I said, you know, the first day you're probably going to want to walk in with your own mask. If you do not have one, we will provide them for you. And, you know, if you need to change it out during the class, you may do so. We have plenty in the classroom and in the building. But so just you will be in a mask the entire time. Whenever you are in close contact with someone else, some of the procedures, you know, that you're going to be practicing, you're going to have to practice on a live person. And so, you know, keeping that in mind, whenever you're within 3 feet or less than another person, we're going to have you put a face shield on in addition to your mask. We do have them, and you'll be getting that the first day of class. So everybody will be issued a face shield that you can use throughout your time with us whenever you're in very close proximity of someone else. Hand washing is you're going to be washing your hands all the time, but to be honest, this is a great tool that you need to learn anyway, because you're going to be constantly washing your hands as a nurse's aide. So you're going to get in practice right in the classroom. every day, between every procedure, between everything you're doing in the lab, you are going to be washing your hands. So there is no way any of you will fail hand washing when you go to take your competency exam, because you're going to be well versed in it. Physical distancing, just as we've been practicing in public or anywhere else, you need to be, you know, we're sticking to the 6 feet kind of rule right now whenever possible. We actually have your desks, your stations set up that you are at least 6 feet apart when you're working in the classroom as well as in the lab. The stations are set up that way. And as I said, we recognize that reality is, and in the long-term care facilities, you are going to be getting closer than that with patients. So at that time, we will be having you put on a face shield. We also have gowns, and we have gloves available to cover. So you will be very comfortable with putting on personal protective equipment and taking it off, and practicing good infection control precautions by the time you go to your clinical facility. Wiping down whenever you're using any the mannequins or any equipment surfaces. We have wipes available. We also have them at all the desks, at all the stations, so that you can grab wipes and wipe things down as soon as you're done. Again, get into the habit of doing that, and right away, and you'll just be in the habit of doing it all the time when you're in practice. The last thing is, there's no food or drink in the classroom or the lab. You will be given a 15-minute break to go down. We have a break room where you has vending machines, and you can socially distance there and go down and have a break, you know, and get a drink of water, or if you brought something with you that's in a container, take it down there and have it. But there's no food or drink in the classrooms. And again, we're just trying to protect you and your safety as well as the safety of others. Questions on things that we're doing to help maintain your safety and the safety of everyone in the buildings? All right, crickets, I'll take that as good, a good thing. Okay, the classroom, the calendar, Judy did not hop in yet. Do you want me to do this one, Regina?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we begin officially in the classroom on Tuesday at 8 a.m. and you will be there from 8 a.m. to 11:45 in the classroom, Tuesdays through Thursdays. You will always report to 418 first, which is the theory room. And then when you're doing lab skills, we have a separate lab room, and you will go over to that when you're doing lab skills. Clinical. When you are in clinical, the hours are 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Now, right now, we do not have the assigned clinical site, and I need to let you know this right to the get-go, because if any of you have followed, and some of you are working in long-term care, right now the long-term care facilities are in the process to get green light approvals to allow people from the outside who are not staff to come in. And so when they get those green light approvals, then we should be able to, we'll get permission to get into one of our clinical sites for clinical. Your clinical is not starting till August. So, you know, we are working on that. And as we get closer to that date, as we have an actual site, we will let you know that. The actual days of clinical are listed here. They were also listed in your paperwork that came home to you on the last page of your syllabus.
I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
The problem I have with that is I start work at 2 p.m. and I can't get them to push back because I work in a long care facility.
The issue is you've got to do the whole time. We have that last half hour is calculated as part of your time for the program. And if you would miss, I mean, we have 9 days at clinical, and if you missed a half hour every day, you know, you basically missed an entire day of clinical. So you need to be there till 2:30. Beg, borrow, steal with your employer. Let them know
I
that
had
it's
already said something to them about this, and they told me that if I were to come in a half hour late for 9 days, that I would end up being terminated.
Oh, wow.
That's
sad. I'm really sad to hear that. Whoever in the nursing home should know the critical need for clinical. You can't just, and within every of your minute is captured and calculated. I hope to God that they will change their mind. It's not gonna work out. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Is there anything you need us to do to, like, show them, write them a letter, show them the schedule? I mean, they should believe you. Clinical is clinical. Is there anything you think we can do for you to persuade them?
Not off the top of my head, only because we're in the process of switching around, like who's doing what in the facility right now, because the one girl left on maternity leave last month. So we have a new supervisor doing this and a new supervisor doing that. So then everybody's a little uptight in that place. Like I know a couple people that came in 15 minutes late for 3 days ended up getting terminated.
Wow. Well, I will say this is July. You don't go to clinical until September. Hopefully things will settle down a little bit. Hopefully, but I just keep talking to them and say, hey, I'm investing in all this money and time. It's for 9 days. It's not like it's for a month, you know. I hope they see that, but I think that's a conversation that you really need to keep having with them. Maybe not today, maybe in a couple of weeks when things settle down a little bit with staffing, but I would really hate to see you start and then don't finish that part of clinical. It will not be fair to you. I don't know, Maggie, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I would say certainly, you know, if you feel comfortable or you need to, you can, you know, share if you want to via an email to Regina and I, your employer. We will certainly, you know, reach out to them if you would like us to. We won't do that without your permission, but we would certainly do that. I do want to go back and correct. I realized the calendar is Tuesday through Friday, not Tuesday through Thursday. And that's a typo on my part, and I apologize for that. But that is in your schedule that you got, was Tuesday through Fridays.
I just saw that as you said it. I just saw that as you said that.
Yeah.
And it's sitting in my front all this time. Yeah.
Yeah, it did the same thing. I just noted, you know, thank you to Kim who read down through it. Went, no, it's Friday. It's 4 days a week, so you get long weekends. Okay, so then our last day, just as their last day of class is September 4th. It's a little longer because you do have, you're going to go through on your last day of class a mock testing that'll help you prepare for your certification exam. And then we have a nice little graduation kind of ceremony for you. So you'll be out around noon on that last day of September 4th. And then you'll have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
And also on that last day, we will get a couple of employers that will come in and speak to you. If you're looking for a job, they will come from different, it could be, depending on whoever I pick, 1 or 2. So it could be home care, it could be long-term, just for you to know that there are people ready to hire you. What they do, they come in the class, tell you why they're the best employer for you to work for, and they will hand out their business card and all that stuff. So it's left up to you to follow up once you take your test or whatever, but we do make that available to you at your last day. We'll start working on some employers who is available to come out that day, 1 or 2. We don't do more than 2, so it doesn't take that long, okay?
Okay, so you did receive a syllabus, which basically gives you everything and anything you ever wanted to know about being a student in the RACC Nurse Aid program. We are not going to read everything in here to you because, you know, we know that you are diligent students and you've gone through. If you haven't done already, you're going to read this. We're going to hit some of the highlights of it, but you do want to, again, if you haven't done so, take the time to read through this document so that you are very familiar with all the policies and that related to being a student in the nurse aid training program at Reading Area Community College. Regina, did you want to do attendance?
That's fine. You know, since Judy's not here, normally she does that.
I know, they're going to get tired of hearing me talk.
It's okay. Now, again, attendance is something that I touched a little bit when we started. And you guys have the documents. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the rules. Anything above 4.5 classroom hours will be considered unexcusable attendance, and then the student will be dismissed from the course. Know what your limits are. We just talked about being on time, so you're not accumulating tardiness, because then you're gonna have to make it up. But we only have 1 day of makeup time in the curriculum. So absent must be documented, and then will be considered for makeup. I know sometimes life happens. Like if somebody is sick, you're in the hospital, dead in the family, you know, all the big stuff, we get that. But then your responsibility becomes that you need to let us know. If you don't call one of us, I can help you. Either your instructor for starters, because Judy is one instructor. If she doesn't see her student, she thinks the worst. Oh my God, are they coming there? Are they in a car accident? She really comes with a compassionate heart. So I will say, please, let somebody know what's going on. If we know what's going on, we can know how to help you. But if you don't call, you don't show up, I'm not gonna go chasing you. You made a decision to come. I'm gonna respect you as an adult, a prospective healthcare for life. So this is part of it. Take responsibility. And it's not anybody being intrusive in your personal life. I can't come, my daughter is in the hospital or something. Then we know it's a tangible excuse. And if there's needs to provide documentation, we'll ask you to do that. But the phone call need to be made so we know what to do. Because with all said and done, unless you complete that 120 hours, we're not going to issue that certificate. You won't be able to sit up for your class. I don't want that. So far since I've been at RACC, we've really have had a high success rate of the NA program. We've had some struggles due to personal issues, but we've been able to work with our students because they were forefront. They showed us, hey, this is what's going on, it's beyond my control. So we've guided them through. The ones that have taken the test, I will say to you, we have maybe 95 to 98 passage rate. Our students really do well because one, you're being taught by a very experienced instructor in form of Judy. We went to the conference last year in somewhere in PA, I forgot, you know, where they gave us all the updates of the areas that students normally fail. They gave each of the skills that you would take. They showed us the rate, which one were students failing the most. So we returned back, gave it to Judy. So when you're doing that mock exams and skills in the class. She's honing on those areas. So when you miss a class, you're gonna miss all this. But if you stay to it, get this 120 hours be completed, then you will move on and start a great career. So I cannot overemphasize the need to be on time, the need not to miss class, the need to let us know when life happens. So we can come along your side, support you, do whatever we have to do so you can successfully complete your program and take your test, okay? Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, next slide, Maggie. And everybody knows the number to call, right? Just very quick. Everybody knows the number to call? If not, write it down. You've called Kim several times, 610-372-4721, extension 5704. Please, if you don't have that number, make sure you have it. And as we go through, you still have forms. And if we did it live, we'll normally hand out business cards to you. I normally put in my business card or whatever. So you constantly, and then the first day of class too, Judy writes down her phone number. So you have access to her. She does that and say, text me, call me, whatever mode of communication that is easier for you. All right? Okay, we'll go ahead. Classroom. We're all adults. We're all getting ready to be professional. Some of you are ready in this field that I think is a privilege to be in a healthcare field because you have to have it in the heart. If you're thinking you're going to go make your quick money, you're in the wrong field. If you don't have it from your heart, you have to know that while you're in class, you're created network. Healthcare is so small. As big as people think it is, it's really small. People just move around. Be on time for your class. Be respectful to your classmates. You never know where you're going to end up seeing them. I have stories that I go to Poconos to work. I'm sitting in my office. I hear a voice. I know I knew this voice. This is physical therapy that I worked with in Bronx, New York. That's how little healthcare is. So don't burn your bridges. Come in, be prepared. Do what you need to do. Be honest. When you read the admission policy that Maggie was saying, we're not going to go page by page. If you're not honest in your test, if you're cheating, you're going to get kicked out of the program. You have to show that you have a sense of integrity. That goes when you become a nurse's aide. You have to be honest. You cannot make up numbers. You cannot lie. When it's a resident had 20% of meal completion. He said, oh, it's 100. That's the tool that somebody needs to do an assessment, things like that. So honesty is always a big one. Be careful what you say, know what you say, ask questions. If you don't know, there's no dumb question. If you don't know, ask. If something doesn't sound right to you, just don't ignore it. Go to your instructor. Say, I just saw this. What do you think? We rather you're wrong than not say anything and then something terrible happens. Then you're going to blame yourself for the rest of your life. Just be an honest person in class, at work, as you grow your field. Some of you are going to end up doing this for a long time, which is great. Some of you might decide to branch to other things, but at the end of the day, you're still dealing with human beings that need you, that are compromised, and you are powerful when you're doing that. Caregivers, you're so powerful, and you have to know that what you do is really needed. It's really a great calling. It's not just a job. This is a big profession, okay? I get very passionate about it because I've been doing this a little while, and till today, I have nurses aide that I worked with 20 years ago. I still keep in touch with them. Why? They were the people that I went for every information I needed as a clinical dietitian, as an administrator. Nurses aide knows what's going on. They know their resident. They know stuff that the rest of the team don't know. Why? Because you spend so much time with your resident. You spend so much time doing one-on-one things with them, and that's a powerful tool to be and to have, okay? Next slide, Maggie. Maggie, next one. Okay, dress code. She looks beautiful. I like the way she looks with this summer. Make sure that you're wearing your white pants or skirt, white shoes, no canvas, colored or printed top, no solid black. When you're in the building, in RACC or in clinical, you must have your ID. You must have your ID. At RACC, we need to know who is in the building, who has access in the building. It's still a way of making sure that we're keeping everybody safe. When you go to the buildings for your clinical, as a former administrator, I need to know who is in my building at all time. And it's the ID that tells me, oh, that's a RACC student. They're good. We just don't want people roaming around in the building without knowing who they are. So it's really important that badge, that name tag is part of your uniform that must be worn at all times while you're in RACC and also while you're at your clinical site. Anybody have any question about dress code? Any questions? Okay. None? Okay. So withdraw from class. Class starts on the 14th of July. That's the first day of class, that's day one. If you're gonna withdraw from the class, which I think we've only had that, Kim, if I'm wrong, the mom and son, that's I think the last withdrawal that we had. You need to make sure that you submit that within the 5 days. If not, you're not gonna get, you're only gonna get, there will not be, you get the 20% refund, that's it. You need to make sure that, and then it has to be put in writing. You just can't tell your teacher, oh, I'm quitting, and they just think that's it. You need to put it in writing. That need to come to me, and then we'll follow the protocol. I'm hoping nobody will have to do this, but again, it's in this admission package. Read it. You are responsible for it because you got a copy. So read it and make sure that you know what you're doing. There must be a written notice for us to consider you for withdrawal, and the time next to of it. If not, you're not going to get any money back. Any question on that? Okay. Class cancellation. You will know when class will be canceled, and it will be due to bad weather, God forbid, anything bad. We have avenues for you to find out from RACC email. You go to the channel 69, some radio station, all that, the Reading Eagle. And then when you sign in RACC, when you get your RACC email, you could set it up that you will get a direct text message to your cell phone if the weather is bad, if the class is being canceled. So once you get your RACC email, you could go on the website, set it up. If they're canceling class, you'll get a text message on your phone. So you won't even have to do all that. Right, Kim? That's the way to do that on Insight, correct, Kim?
They don't have to do it on Inside. It's actually on the main page.
On the main page, yes.
Of the RACC homepage.
Yeah, once you have your RACC email, you could go there and do that. So you won't even have to worry about listening to news or whatever. It'll come directly on your phone. Sometimes it comes like 5:30 in the morning or whatever time. Whenever that is declared, like for bad weather or whatever, you will get that information. And then all classes that are canceled, don't think that's a freebie. We have to make up for them. We will have to make up for them. And if it's like a couple of days, hopefully not, because you guys are in summer, during winter, that might happen, then that will move forward your graduation. You delay the graduation a little bit. But since we're starting August, finishing September, we're hoping there will be no need for that, of any cancellation of class, unless God forbid something bad happen. But you will be notified and you will know what to do. Any questions? All right. Okay, so this is the big one, the Title IX policy. RACC, as a community college, believes strongly that when you're in RACC as a student, we need to protect each other. There should be no fear of discrimination, anything, if you see whatever going on that you don't feel comfortable, sexual assault, sexual harassment, even in your class, if your teacher is just talking to you crazy, you are an adult, you know, when somebody is not being appropriate, you need to report that. You need to let me know. You need to go to somebody. Just don't take it. You're walking in the campus, you see something, we say, when you see something, say something. You need to report that. And then you need to know that you're protected. If it's happening to you, you report it, your confidentiality will be maintained. Nobody needs to know about it until the college goes through the process. We have an organization here, and BIT, Behavior Intervention Team. I'm a member of that. That will be brought to that group if need be, then it will be resolved. All the policies will be put in place. The bottom line is we want everybody to feel safe while they're in campus. Now, if you need to report something that you feel that comfortable, we have somebody that is the coordinator. Her phone number and her name is in your package for you to follow up in. At this point too, if you know there's some learning disabilities that you have that will affect you in this class, if you think you're pregnant, that will affect your clinical, whatever the issue is with the same person, you need to report that to me so we can give you the accommodation and then make plans with you. If you don't do that and then something happens, the college will say, hey, you didn't tell us, we can help you. If you have any kind of IEP that we need to see to make sure that if the test is for 20 minutes, we're gonna give you 30 minutes to take it, or 40 minutes. And that will be strictly between me and your instructor. None of the students should know about it. It's nobody's business, because we have to meet everybody where they are. We want to accommodate you so you're not failing, but you have to make the first inquiry by letting us know and providing the paperwork that is required. Then I will direct you to the Office of Disability, where you will go and they will work with you. And then once the paperwork is done, they will send it back to me. Then I give it to your instructor. Then she'll have instructions on how to help you, guide you, so you're getting your work done and you're not late, you know, or you're not behind, because you can get your work done based on whatever the circumstances are. It's the way of the college. It's a law. We cannot discriminate against you. If you have a reading disability or something, we need to accommodate you so you walk on your pace. That's what I'm talking about. Anybody have any question on that or any clarification? Okay, so like I said, just make sure that you're telling us what's going on as far as accommodation is concerned. If you don't want to talk to me, you can go straight directly to our coordinator for that. Her name is Klein Smith. She's on Brooks Hall, room 215. Her phone number 610-372-4721, extension 5265. When she gets your information, she will schedule a meeting with you. You need to show up to the meeting, because student will do that and then they don't show up. If you don't show up, there's really nothing she can do about it. She cannot get to me. We cannot get to the instructor, okay? I'm hoping if there's a need to do this, it's not a big deal. We'll get it done. If there's no need for it, but at least you know that RACC things, we have to accommodate everybody, regardless of what the situation is, okay? Any questions? All right. Is Kim doing this or am I doing this?
Kim, you
Why
want to
don't
jump
you-
in?
Kim, you
Why
want to
not?
jump in and do this?
Oh, why not?
So I can have a drink of water.
There are 3 forms in your packet, and some of you who were at the orientation the first time already filled them out. But if you could fill them out again, because there's been some time since did them the first time, and bring them to the first day of class. They're all in your packet. Your emergency contact, the form that you received, the nurse aid policies, and the continuing education payment agreement form. And if you can sign them and bring the originals with you the first day, and if you want a copy of them, we will make a copy and return one to you.
I just wanted to add in that when you go to clinical, when we get it all worked out, you will have another instructor that will do your clinical. Her name is Valerie. She's been with us for a long time. She really is good at what she does. So Judy will teach the classes. Valerie will do the clinical with you. She will go to the sites with you, whatever sites that we're going. I just want you guys to know that. So you have Judy for the classroom skills, for clinical, it will be another instructor by the name Valerie, okay? And you have that, you have our information on your first page of your admission package. Questions?
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. On that note, any questions or anything that anybody has, now's your time
To speak.
to speak up and ask. You have the floor.
Quiet. Everybody's quiet. That tells me that you got your package, you reviewed it, so this was just a review for you. And if you thought about anything later, you can email, you can call. You're going to be in class on the 14th. Don't go spending so much money buying all the most expensive shoes and sneakers. Just make sure you get something comfortable and within the colors. We don't want you spending money that is not necessary. You know, like things are hard out there, you know, so if you don't think of anything later, thought about it, you still have a whole week before class starts. So we can follow up on that.
Is everybody excited about starting
I was
class?
just gonna say that, Maggie.
Okay, I see some smiles.
Yeah. I am excited for you guys. I get excited at any NA orientation because it's just a great opportunity. There's not that many jobs that you can do so many things. Nursing home, hospital, personal care. I mean, the list just goes on. Home care. You can pick and choose, and you're getting great education. I'm so proud of what we've done, what the team has done, lesson plans, care plan, everything has been done and put together. You guys are really gonna have a great time, and that exam will be easy. Just get your notes, do your homework. Judy is very detailed. She is early. So if you're late, you're not gonna like her. Judy is on time. So make sure that you're on time. And now with the new system, so it will make it more smooth if everybody comes at the same time. Boom, 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 do the test and we move on. That would be good. But I'm really, really looking forward to seeing all of you at graduation. This makes our day. This is what it's all about. And for you guys to be brave enough, stepping into the hell caving with everything, that's the dedication. And that's what we look for. People that care from the heart, not just the money. The money is good, but that doesn't really do everything. You have to have that compassion. And I keep saying it, I always say to people, I can teach you skills, but I can't teach you empathy. You have to have it from in here. And that's what you guys need to do the job that you're going to do. And it's a great profession. You have to be proud of yourself that you're stepping out and doing this. It's not easy to go to school as an adult. I know, I've done it. It's not easy, especially when you have family. You get pulled so many ways. You're a mom, you're a this, you're a that. But the fact that you guys are doing this, kudos to you all. Okay? That's my hangout, you know.
I had a question.
Yes.
Do you guys help with like looking into furthering different education things? Because like I want to do this, but then eventually I want to look into like hospice care.
Yeah. If you have questions, we can direct you to the right direction, you know, and that you can do one-on-one, you know, either reach out to me or reach out to Maggie. Maggie has been in the field for a little bit. You know, we all look cute, but we've been doing this for a little bit. Don't let the face fool you. So there's a lot of resources out there if you know who to talk to and how to go about it. And like Maggie said, if you can get into a place where your tuition is paid for you, that you're not paying all that out of your pocket, why not? that's job security. And that's something you want to build in healthcare, that you get that job security. And if an employer cares enough to do that, then it's your responsibility to show them what you're made of by being a good employee, coming to work on time, doing what they expect you to do, because they're investing on you too. So if you have any questions, we can answer that on a different setting, okay?
I talk over Gina because someone asked me just the other day, my neighbor, how long I've been a nurse, and I had to calculate it out. 32 years.
Yeah, that's why I said don't let the face fool you.
So yes, and just to add on to that, periodically we get like messages, and I get various employers in the area who are looking for nurse aides to work in different capacities, not just at long-term care. Bayada Nurses is one who has an interest right now in some students who graduate for doing home care. And I also know that they provide hospice
I actually
care.
work there.
You work for
Awesome.
Bayard?
I work there and Genesis Healthcare.
Oh, okay. Okay, excellent.
Wonderful. You're a great source.
Which Genesis that you're at? Which Genesis that you're at?
Berkshire Commons.
Oh, Berkshire Commons, yeah. I used to cover there years ago, like just on coverage, when I worked in the one in Shillington, yeah. So, and like I said, don't burn your bridges. Everybody knows everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
If you're gonna leave, and it's okay to leave a job, give your notice. And don't let anybody force you into doing something dumb or like walking out. Don't ever abandon your resident. You're not abandoning the director of nurse or your supervisor. It's your resident that you're doing that to. No matter what it is, take a 5 minutes break, walk out, do something, because it follows you. And you don't want to start your career that way. Just know that, okay, this is what I'm doing this for. This is are you in control? Don't give away power. Like I say, don't give away power, okay? Because you're gonna be a new aide, believe you me, people are gonna try you. You're the new kid in the block. They're gonna poke at you. Stand your ground, do what you need to do. While you're in clinical, I always say this, if Judy didn't teach it or Valerie didn't show you, please don't do it. Even if you're working in the field now, you're carrying their license over you. If you do something wrong, it's gonna fall on them. Even if you're already an aide working, it doesn't matter. You're a student right now. So if they didn't tell you to transfer with assist, don't help anybody transfer. Tell them I'm a student. I'm gonna wait for my instructor. You're not being rude. Just say it with all the professional way that you know how to say it. We don't wanna jeopardize the safety of the resident, and then of course the license of our instructors. We don't want to do that, and we don't want to get kicked out because we did something dumb. Please.
Okay, so the teacher and me, since we got a little crickets on questions, gotta ask a question here. Anybody who has the answer, unmute and shout out. The question is, how many forms do you have to bring with you on your first day of class?
Yeah, you're a teacher, all right? Oh, somebody got, Kim, not you. You're not a student. You can't answer.
Somebody unmute. Tell me, how many you got to bring?
3 or 4 if you count the checklist.
Awesome. Perfect. You have 3 completed forms, unless, the 4th, if we count the COVID screening checklist. Awesome. You guys were listening.
Yeah.
You passed.
Yeah.
Do you want us to bring the COVID checklist with us filled out, or no?
You can if you want, or if you want to keep it as a resource at home, we will be giving you them every day also. If you want to bring it to make it go faster the first day, you can do so.
And just make sure you watch those videos, because you're checking that, you're acknowledging that you saw them and that you watched them. That's, again, holding you accountable, because then Judy will say you watched it, so you know what's in there. So just take your time when you have nothing to do at night on your phone or whatever, just make sure that you review it before the first day of class, because you're checking that you did it. Again, that's Nursing 101, holding you accountable. Whatever you signed, that means you did it. That's the way we check, you know.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, no other questions for the good of the cause, you can always, if you have a question, you can always feel free to call in or, email in if you have a question before the first day of class. Otherwise, we will see you at around 7:45 on July 14th.
Okay, good luck. Good luck. Congratulations and good luck.
All right.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Maggie and Regina, stay on a second.
Okay.
Sure will.
What's up, go?
Hold
There,
on.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm just
Okay.
making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody was logged out first.
Yeah.
How do you want me to handle? There were 2 students. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but there were 2 students who were not here.
Now I can't, yeah. Harmony was one.
Was
I don't
he being replaced?
No,
Who was being
Nope.
replaced?
nobody.